Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia. I'm actually said yesterday I'd be a little bit earlier, but I'm not. It's 11:05 Eastern. Is a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday late morning, as Powell is continuing his second day of talking. He started again 10 a.m. Eastern, as I said before, a little bit after 11. I'm a little unprepared today. I had to actually go to the chiropractor. You know what I mean? When I was one of the younger guys on the desk, and one of the older senior dudes would hop into this like big Mercedes and be like, I got to go to the chiropractor. I was like 24 years old. I'd be like, man, that sucks. You got to be that old and go to a chiropractor. I miss all this trading. So I'm that guy, but I still have a big Mercedes. I don't mean to be arrogant, but I get it. All right. So we're signing in here. Okay. It feels like a Friday, but it's one of those days where TDD acting nicely, where it just because I think these ODTE options are making things active. It always seems like they're keeping you a little bit sharper than it is. But as I say that, let's head inside at this TradeGATEHub, sponsored by TradeView Markets. Pardon. A lot of stuff, but you know what? Stocks, the positive is the stocks that are moving are making sense. Let me see if a couple of mine are making sense as we speak at the moment. All right, good, not bad. All right, that's my plan. As Paul said, we got time and a plan. That's true. Disney turnaround. Lewis had a plan. Okay, let's finish. First of all, this being Wednesday, Monday morning, the most amount of data that I put out in terms of a lot of analyst research, firm research, longer term plans, or basically a lot of macro things. So the Red YouTube channel, go to what we said on Monday, or go back. You can go back as long as you want. Coach streamed an hour ago, getting more and more views every day. Bravo. Wow. Coach is killing it. So go back there. Okay. So we're going to get back into today. Everybody's looking at the same thing. Go back to the video. It's the 10-year, the SPY, the 50, the 100-day. But let's get back in. By the way, guys, what I really am proud of, without being dramatic, is the fact that, sometimes my methods are, I'm a 5-tool trader. I can do a lot of different things. I would rather probably do a couple of things super aggressively and well, but that's where I learned up. But I will say that the guys, when I wake up or during the evening or whatever, great posts. Seriously, good questions. Sarah, good questions. What are my thoughts? Gerard posting the same thing. Sentiment. CTA position huge. Crew, pardon me. TTD. I got things flashing. Okay, let's get back to business. Okay, fixed call reading. That's important. That answered the question right now. Everybody's, there might be a little skewed with this ODTE option situation, for example, which is very skeptical. GFS, which is very, it's gambling. I don't know. I don't mean to be hypocritical, but that's what I think it is. I'm going to leave it at that. ODT, short-term volatility correction. Okay. Kramer, go through everything here. Okay. I posted all the trade this morning. I'm still short a lot of Deutsche Bank. I think I'm short 40,000 Deutsche Bank. My average price is 12.18. Keep going. Paul, great communication. Listen, I don't really have to give anything about what went on in the room. Buying Weight Watchers at the 580s. Now I'm long what? I'll post it after Weight Watchers. My average, I'm 28,000. My average price is what? 552. I'll take it. Big deal. Okay. Options didn't lie on GOL, guys. I mean, I didn't listen, this one wasn't hard to figure out. The airlines were, I'm along GFS, by the way. The airlines have been acting very well. Let's go to a chart on the on our domestic ones. There's a chart on Delta flagging. UAL, same thing. Oh, UAL. All right. So I posted yesterday, and I looked at the EWZ. At one point yesterday, I was along EWZ. It actually followed through. And I posted, please go back into the room, because I post a lot of things. A lot of things happened, not so much as trades, but what Coach and I try to stress the most, and everybody seems to be catching on, is, you try to catch sentiment with a stock acting well. It's, if sentiment is extreme to the downside, a stock is acting well. If sentiment picks up, it's almost like relative strength. It's a little bit more of of it. It's a tool combined with relative strength. Bottom line is I take volume, price action, and range. I like range. If nothing's moving, I don't want to be the first one in. If I built it to 24,000 shares, that's a good number that I like. I don't want to be the first one in and the last out. I'm not that smart to the point where I don't, I'd rather wait for confirmation instead of taking a big position. I digress again. Okay. Always posting economic data throughout the day. Anything that I think is pertinent. Options didn't lie on GOL. Where's GOL? That worked. They took profits in it. I get it. Whatever. It's probably going to back and fill to the 50-day, considering that Brazil or EWZ is acting well as well. The airlines, it is if, what I mean? If 287, what a nice move. Let's go to the weekly. It's not a barn burner, but it's just emblematic of how these options are working. A lot of stocks that are meaning to work are working. Laser, a couple of pullbacks and working. AMD's been acting strong, now breaking out, if you will. AMD's breaking out. Nevada, semis was strong this morning. I said semis, and I took a position in GFS, Global Foundries. I like it. I think it eventually starts to look like AMD. Global Foundries, I'm in. Here's my list. Bivy, a 1 for the active trader. Listen, I know it only traded top corner here, 200,000 shares, but this stock I've been mentioning, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to short it. It's got that move in it. So watch that one, Bivy. Had news yesterday too, or 3 days ago. A stock that goes from 6 to 880 and has an inside day and rests, that's what we call either an inside day or a resumption trade. You make 100,000 one day, usually you stay hot, but if you make 10,000 the next day and maybe lose 10,000, you're poised to make like another 40 or 50 the third day after that. I don't know if I articulated that well, but it's usually called a resumption day or a delayed trade. That's Bivy. Let's go back to the videotape, as Warner Wolf used to say. AM, another hot stock trading huge volume, range and price action. I don't know if it's going to go back to 1320, but it has has $1.80 range today on volume and is trending well for the active trader. Let's see. Look at the macro stocks that everybody has their eye on. Look at Coach. Look at this Bank of America. Bank of America not doing any well. Maybe the third day down, a little bit of a doji, maybe a pops. I'm not sure. The Big Daddy, Gold Daddy, right there. Higher, lower highs, higher lows. JP Morgan still under the 50-day. Let's see. I'm short the Deutsche Bank. Maybe it's a baby trade, but if it starts to work, I'll pile into 6 figures. No problem. Don't get me wrong. I will. Okay, Apple, Google hanging well. My TTD acting very well. I piled into it. Riven, 1 day delay. Square, Coin acting okay. Weight Watchers, where's the WW? Oh, I'm in this thing now. Oh, Weight Watchers, 542, you bastard. All right, now Weight Watchers, okay. My sweet spot, as I said, I thought was 570. Now, why did I say 570 for Weight Watchers? I looked at the weekly 50-day moving average on Weight Watchers, like 582 up here. So I said, all right, that 580s as I posted before. Then I'm looking at it again. And the 200-day on the daily is what? 518. So I split the middle. I split the middle. So I was buying it all the way down. My first purchases said was about 580, then 570. My average price is what? It was right 556. I was basically even in it before I came on here. You know what I mean? I think it might take a day or two. I like the news that it had. I don't think it's a one-day wonder. I didn't like the fact that it went up that much, but I think much like a stock like which I was talking about before. AMD, a day, one of these day delay situations where that's what I think Weight Watchers will have it, like one of these day delay back and fills. Dick's Sporting Goods stores continually to going higher. Pulling a Fizzler, same thing. ASO going with it. Run Fizzler was the first one to go down. Disney, Lewis likes it. I don't think you're out of the woods yet, but certainly it made a higher low, and that's certainly positive. So, it didn't make a new low. So that's the line in the sand for Lewis, 97.60. Home Depot, what's it doing today? All right, having a little bit of a bounce. It's yet to be determined if the low is in. Certainly yesterday was a little bit of an ominous sign. Halliburton, they gave it back. Newmont, TTD hanging in. Amazon, Lewis, nice scoop. Yet to be determined, but Lewis knows that there's calls going in Amazon, so he's got a little bit of a back to it. Las Vegas, Win, Caterpillar, no good bounce, Disney, Coin. What's breaking high here? Nothing here. Let's go back to TradeGATEHub. Okay, LTH, goal, XBI's on the 200-day, still is. Where's the XBI? It's not something I would really like to take a position in. It's not like the sexiest trade out there because I still think the market could bounce and this could not. So, you know what I mean? It did break the 200-day by a touch. Everything lit up. Stocks breaking the 50-day. Let's look at the IBB. IBB hanging in there. If I'm going to take a position, I think it's going to be the IBB or the XBI. Why would you ask that? And I'm going to tell you. IBB has a little bit, you know, the meteor. It's almost like the mega. It's almost, I would say, the mega bios, analogous to the FANG stocks, Amgen, Biogen, Regan. So IBB is the one that I will actually think about if I would do something. FCX, WPM, doing nothing. AI having range. Where's my Weight Watchers? I got to get out of this thing. I mean, I don't want so much of it. There's my average price right there. So my average price is that green line. So my average price is 560. I'm down 22 cents on the stocks that pulled back $2. I think I'm going to be okay. I mistimed it, but next, you know what I mean? We're here to actively take money out. JP Morgan, watch it. The Jolts number helped. There was my Weight Watchers. Lewis, Amazon in, Disney turnaround. Paul, hoping you're all taking notice of Mike as current as trader, his sit on the hands moment. There's no point. Sit back. Yeah, you know what? You know what? This is you know what, Paul? This is where fun. This is where after doing this for so long, it seems like you're seasoned as well. This is where traders make trading hard. Not that trading is hard. It is hard. I get in general. Life's hard, but I'm living it. But this is where you sit back and you wait for your time. You go back and you look at, or it's my job to relate to you, you know, as the day starts to slow down, although Powell is talking, cost of not getting inflation down extremely high. So we got to hear what he says. Normally the market moves more precipitously after when he stops speaking. So this is all rhetoric until everybody digests. So until then, I do my due diligence and I look at stocks that are moving on price, action, range, and volume, and I look at what's going on with my my Jesus feed. I am Catholic, and I don't consider it sacrilegious. Nevada, NVAX, bearish flow. Gerard, you like that. SPY, bearish. AMD calls. I don't blame them. Nevada calls. Where are they going? They're going to April. Not bad. They're going to March. I don't mind it. April's a little bit out. So that's what I like. AMD bulls active into strength. And as I mentioned before, they should be, because look at the chart. I'm not from Boston, but look at the chart on AMD. It's at the 85 strike price. Might need a little bit of time. I certainly wouldn't short it going boom right here, but AMD acting well, great relative strength. Pardon. Here we go. Baba, December 23rd calls. How much he's putting out there? 200 grand. Doesn't say a lot to me. 200 grand, I could actually do that, to be honest. And that doesn't say a lot. Baba calls, noted, blah, blah, blah. CCL. I'll end it soon. What time is it? Actually, I came on a little late. Coin bearish, AYX. Now that's what I'm interested in. Where's that going out? I'll have to look that later. Trade alert, where? Not seeing it. What? AYX. I'll go to the chat. I could tell right now. Nah, not interested now. You guys look later. Miner seeing some bill flow. All right, interesting, coach. Where's the miner? And they're going out all over the place. SBSW. 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 I've heard of that somewhere. Ooh, look at this thing. All right. So somebody's trying to pick at bottom fish SBSW alert. Actually, I never got my 20,000 shares of FSM at 308. Where is it now? I'm getting left behind, 321. I don't even know if I wanted 328 at 308 now. WPM sweet spot is where, Mike V, you ask? Now I really like. Now that's on a little bit of a short-term flag. Where's WPM? Let's go to the weekly, because that's the only metal or miner that I'm going to even take a step at now. The weekly 200-day, you can see all up here, top left, 38.42, 38.76. I get it around there, 38.5, we'll call it. The 200 days, 37.5. We'll split the middle. We'll start buying it at 38. How about that? But we know where the line in the sand is. Buying it lightly at 38. All right, so that's 20 minutes ago. Crude coming into buy territory. Not really, but now it looks like. SPY bullish, Amazon bearish. That's only an ODTE. Don't get nervous, Lewis. That's only going out till tomorrow, whatever it is, the 10th. So don't put your credence. Yeah, Tesla I wouldn't touch. Tesla 150. Is Tesla going to 150? It looks like certainly Riven. Let's look at the Riven. Did have a little bit of bounce. All right, bravo. Riven's bouncing a little bit. Big deal. Tesla not bouncing. 181 now. Here's the chart. Long term, wouldn't do it. Boom, weekly. This poor thing. Even broke the RSI. It's, you know what? A lot of things have been actually pretty technical. The more mega caps, the bigger, the thicker the volume, a lot more technical they've been behaving. MU, ISCE, bull activity. I don't blame them. I shorted it a couple of days. Made some good money in a short. ISE, buying it. This is the one. You want to talk about a company, new best of breed or whatever, or a new leader? This is it, ISCE. This thing doesn't flinch. But you know what? When you say that, you just think it's going to, maybe could pull an AEHR and you turn around, it goes to 24. ISCE, Gerard, you know about this company. I could have covered it at 18. ISCE. I'm buying it today. It's getting the freaking highlighter. ISCE. Next, shop, calls until March, not interested. ISE, April. Valley, September. Now we're talking, coach. To step up in Valley, everybody knows what that is. So they are stepping up in miners a touch. And there's Valley. That's not bad Valley on the daily. It's got the triangle thing going. But you know what? I'm not going to argue with some calls. How much did they put behind it? A couple 100,000. Not bad. All right, it's not bad. Etsy, bearish. I brought that one up yesterday. After that, I brought that up on TG8 this morning. They had a negative conference call. It broke the 200-day. That would be nice if it retested it with volume and stuck. That wouldn't go long, but that would be a little bit of an indication of how maybe these growth stocks would be flushed out and then stick for maybe a day or two. I might certainly call on the bottom. Fear and greed, it was 78 a couple of days ago, a week ago, whatever. PBF, coach, still going up, these refiners. We had a debate on PBF. And this was the debate about a 3 drive. And then we went to the weekly. Actually, it's a dogfight right now, but they're still going into the calls. Above the ask, too. PBF bullish. I'm going to leave it at there because these are all, I'm going back an hour ago. Okay. TradeGATEHub, any asking questions? Let's go to right here. Let's look at our beautiful TradeView market site, which sponsors TradeGATEHub. And then we'll go to movers. We'll leave it right here. Stock scanner. And we'll leave it basic. Up high in relative volume. Let's go to the time. As of 11:23, AMD mentioned it. OHI, Oxy. I had news this morning. Warren, XP, Riven mentioned that again. AFRM and Coin. AFRM I don't trust as far as I can throw it. Hops, a shipper breaking high. What's down on relative volume? Go to press time. TRKA. Oh, it's a 42. I could. Oh, it went that high. They got me. All right. EDU China says something. A 10-day low. EDU, AR, Dash, Bill, Bed Bath and Beyond. Not interested. Took it off the screen. Goodyear Tire, EMPH, Weight Watchers. I'm in it. Mike V's in it. A lot of shares. One of the biggest losers. Reversal. Well, reversing again tomorrow, you bastard. Watch. Okay, new highs as of 11:25, and I will leave it here. TK, ANET, NAT, Gasser, new lows. CRWD still acting well after earnings. New low is of 11 and change. AIG, Tallow, RF, OVV. Mike V had it overnight. How you doing? And why did I have OVV overnight? Because I should have. Even if it didn't work, I had to look myself in the mirror. I covered OVV, what, 42.79. It ripped the 43.5. I had to take OVV. Look at this thing. It's on the cliff. All right. Any questions? Leave it there as of 11:25-ish. I'll go back and leave it off the TradeView market site, TradeGATEHub. So listen, you know what I mean? A lot of things. Copper looks like a precursor Aussie bottom. The Aussie bottom. Copper. Man, I'm learning a lot. Aussie bottom with copper. Here's FCX's coaches makes some comments. Live trading. FCX copper. Let's look at SCCO. Looks nice. Let's look at SSRM. Was one of my earlier picks this year. Wow, look at this thing. SSRM minor. I made good money in this at the beginning, end of last year. SSRM. Can't do it, kid. Can't do it. What's our MUX doing? I probably called the top on that thing. All right, MUX. And WPM. You know what I mean? That's where I'm interested in. WPM. I don't even know if that's going to be. I don't think I'm going to pick the bottom. WPM. You know, it's almost like how Lewis feels about Disney. It's still dicey, but it's a spot to try. So WPM, I'm still in with that idea. So I'll sign off here. Leave take any old questions, or I left them all. What I'm going to do now is go to Coach's video right here at the red YouTube channel from TradeGATEHub. I'm going to watch it. And 76 views, I'm going to become the 77th. And after I pass it on, there's going to be a lot more. So as we leave on a Wednesday afternoon, listen to what Powell says. Economic data is posted on TradeGATEHub. Some earnings passed this evening. Always something to do at TradeGATEHub, as well as news, charts, TradeView markets, all financial instruments across the board. Any questions, please ask Coach or I or any of your